Which specialization to choose after MBA? MBA के बाद या MBA के दौरान क्या स्पेशलाइजेशन करनी चाहिए? Whether should we go for finance, marketing, sales, HRM, operations, what? And most importantly, how should you choose one? Because the thing is that one way is that okay, I'll go where everyone else wants to go and whatever is fashionable, I'll go there. Or maybe there could be a much more logical way, a much more scientific way for you to find out that okay, probably where you would do really well in your life. Hi, I am Darpan Saxena. Welcome to the Career Launcher YouTube channel, and in this video I would want to take you through certain steps which you should follow for you to able to find out that okay, what is the specialization which you should go for. If you're somebody who's an MBA aspirant, then go down in the comments and let me know right now that as of right now, when you've not seen the entire video, you've not like this thing, what is the field you want to be in? Just go down and inform me, and then at the end of the video reply again to the same one saying that whether it is still the same or has it changed for you. I would love to know this and probably to even help you in how do you make a final choice for yourself. Now, moving on. There are 4 factors. This one slide encapsulates a lot of things which I will be saying, but towards the end of this, I will give you a sort of cheat sheet that probably bases your specialization. What are some of the certifications which you could do? So if you're in for that, wait up till the end, and I'll start off with by explaining what are the 4 factors you should consider while choosing a specialization for yourself. See, it's a very simple thing which I always advise to my students. The first thing is that you are right now at this spot A. You are an MBA aspirant, and the first thing you need to have absolute clarity about is who am I? मैं कौन हूँ? That is why the students who join the CL PDP programs, the first thing which we help the student do is that you have to write your who am I. Your who am I is what? Your who am I is basically what are your personal interests, what is your aptitude, and what is the kind of personality which you think you are. If you see, this is API, aptitude, personality and interest. Do this basic level API self-assessment for yourself. How do you do this? I'll explain in the next slide. Moving on from there. Imagine this point B. Now here is the crucial thing. You're right now at that point A. Imagine yourself to be at point B. And what is your goal? Where do you aspire to be? Now when I'm saying what is your goal, think about the kind of life you want to lead. Do not instantaneously jump onto अच्छा I want to do sales or finance or marketing. बाद में करेंगे वो. Imagine the kind of life you want to lead, and basis that think about okay, what kind of work will help me live that life. The fundamental mistake which students make is this, that they first think about the job they want to have. They forget the kind of life they would like to live, and once they get into that job role, then all the wrong things start to happen. While that job role was very aspirational for them and for their friends, and now that they are there, they realize that probably this is not what I wanted. Probably I am a free bird, I wanted to do something else, but just because I couldn't think beyond job roles and brands because I happened to be at a top 3 B school, I've ruined my life. I'm using a very strong word. I've ruined my life. Therefore, think about your life first. That's that. Moving on from there. Then the C. For you to reach from A to B, you need to have a bridge, which is usually what are the things which you need to learn, your upskilling, your knowledge and skills which you need to go from point A to point B. That is point C. List these things down. All of these things which I'm saying to you, A, B and C, एक paper लेना, A4 sheet paper लेना और उस पे लिखना कि A, self assessment, अभी मैं ये हूँ, I'll be explaining how. Then B, what is it that I aspire to do. C, यहाँ से यहाँ तक इस वर्क तक पहुँचने के लिए क्या स्किल्स एंड नॉलेज मुझे अपस्किल करने होंगे. And then students miss out on this one small thing, but if they can actually include it, they would find out something really amazing about what they can do, which is D, environment. Be the MBA you want to be and do a quick environment analysis. What are some of the trends? which industries are doing really well? Probably, could you contribute to those industries? If yes, then probably a mix of these four, A, B, C, D, will give you the career opportunity you want for yourself. My dear friends, if you want to screenshot this, you screenshot this. Go down in the comments and let me know if your mind was blown with this, because it might seem to be very common knowledge कि ऐसा क्या बता दिया यार, A, B, C, D तो बताया है. But if you're somebody who has actually felt it, you would know that this is probably so simple that this is what you needed to get the clarity. Go down and let me know in the comments. Now, moving on from there, let me take you through each of these A, B, C, D in details and help you understand. Now, the first thing, I told you about self-assessment. We at CL, we call it the API, aptitude, personality and interest. These three we feel, and we know it's a scientific thing, determine where you would be best at in terms of your job, in terms of your work. I'll not use the word job because probably you might realize from your analysis that, hey, I don't even want a job. I want to become a freelancer. I want to build a startup of my own. Who knows? Think big. You can do that. Then, how do you do this? How do you do this self-assessment? Simply put, do a SWOT analysis of yourself. Identify your strengths, your weaknesses. That's that. What are your interests? What are your values, your core values? A lot of students, they don't know this. A lot of MBA admission interviews, they ask the student that, hey, okay, what are your 5 core values or 3? And they have no idea. उनको ये मालूम ही नहीं होता कि core values भी कोई एक चीज होती है. This question of what is your core values, this tells you how much you've thought about yourself. Go to these levels of thinking about yourself. If you were to ask me what are my 5, I have my 5 in my head. If you want to know mine, go down and let me know and I'll share with you in the comments itself. Then, 2 very important things. What is your undergraduation in and what is your work experience in? अगर आपके पास work experience है, किस फील्ड में है, 1 साल भी है, 2 साल भी है, 3 साल है, किस फील्ड में आपने काम करा हुआ है, ये बहुत मेजर फैक्टर है. Because if you have an experience in something, it might make more sense to stick to it and build more of your skills in it. Obviously, until and unless you're completely against it कि नहीं यार ये तो करना ही नहीं, अब ये तो मैंने 2 साल कर लिया यार, मैं तो MBA कर ही रहा हूं इसलिए so that I can switch. अगर वो कहानी है तो बात अलग है. But it's my responsibility to tell you that probably, my dear friends, what your undergraduation is and what your work experience is could be a very good driver of this faisla which you will make. And towards the end, I'll give you some situations of what your undergraduation is and probably what you could or what you should be aspiring for, all of those things. Moving on, your future aspirations. As I've said, what, in simplest words, what do you intend to become? What kind of human being you see yourself to be? Ideally, this statement number 3, it should have been here. What is the kind of life you intend to lead? कैसी जिंदगी, उसमें details that where do I live, when do I wake up, what do I do each day, and then try to fit in your work in that okay, what sort of work will help me enable that life for myself. That's that. And once you've figured that out, अब मैं जिन 20 स्कूल्स के लिए टारगेट कर रहा हूं, अब थोड़ा हम रियलिटी में आते हैं. यहां पे थोड़ी हमने कर दी बात आगे कि जी लाइफ इमेजिन करिए, फिर उसमें इमेजिन करिए दैट ओके व्हाट इज द वर्क. लेट्स कम बैक टू रियलिटी. दैट वंस यू फाउंड आउट व्हाट इज द काइंड ऑफ प्रोफेशन, उसके नियरेस्ट जॉब रोल्स आपके टारगेट बी स्कूल में कौन से आते हैं वो आपको मिल जाएगा फ्रॉम प्लेसमेंट रिपोर्ट्स. ऑल्सो आई हैव क्रिएटेड अ टन ऑफ वीडियोज, अ लॉट ऑफ वीडियोज ऑन द करियर लॉन्चर यूट्यूब चैनल. यू कैन फाइंड इट फ्रॉम देयर एंड फ्रॉम देयर यू विल फाइंड दैट ओके दीज आर द 2 or 3 जॉब रोल्स व्हिच आई शुड एम फॉर इफ आई मेक इट टू दीज schools. That is it. This is how you backward evaluate this for yourself. That's that. Now, how do you find the skills? Once you've found the exact job roles you are interested in, your next job is to go through the JDs. And from those JDs, you would find out that okay, usually the organizations, they ask for what kind of skills. It could be both hard skills and soft skills. Make a list of all of these things. All of these things you see, again, you do not have to just imagine it in your head कि अच्छा ये करूँगा ये करूँगा. No, लिखना इसको एक A4 sheet पे सब. Write this down. What skills? Then, do those skills actually, do they interest you? So, it could be that a job fascinates you, but the kind of work which you need to do to get that job, which means the kind of skills you need to acquire to get that job, you will not like that. I'll give you an example of this in the next slide itself, या फिर उसके अगले वाली में. that how it can be that a job might fascinate you a lot, but you might not like the skills required for it. Even if you like the skills, do you have the aptitude to learn those skills? Again, I strongly feel anybody can learn anything. बस फर्क ये है how much समय you may spend on it. But if you were to say that, okay, I have my 2 years of MBA, do I have the aptitude to learn this skill in the next 1 year? Because then my finals will start, my placements will, it will start, and hence I need to really acquire this skills really well in 1 year. And how aligned are those skills with my current skill sets? Obviously, it's very important. That is why I had said that your UG, your existing work experience are extremely important, because they help you understand कि आपके पास already कुछ skill sets होंगे. It makes more sense to build upon the skills and the experiences which you have than to go back from scratch. Go back from scratch only when you are very clear that no, this is not something I want to do. कि यार उस समय पता नहीं मैंने क्यों ये कर ली थी इंजीनियरिंग, या ये मैंने क्यों कर लिया था, अब मेरे को एस्पिरेशन नहीं है. Now I have to switch my field, do it only then. And then I told you about an option D, environment. मैक्रो ट्रेंड्स कहाँ हैं, देश और दुनिया किस डायरेक्शन में जा रहे हैं, किन इंडस्ट्रीज में क्या ब्रेक थ्रूज और डिसरप्शंस हो रहे हैं. ब्रेक थ्रू मीन्स एक कोई समथिंग happens and now something new is there, whereas disruption means that when something new happens, something which was there almost vanishes. That's that. Probably these two fields, fintech में क्या आप कुछ कर सकते हैं, या फिर electronic vehicles, AI. I've made a video on the Career Launcher YouTube channel about MBA in IT and MBA in AI and analytics and all of those. Probably if this excites you, those are the videos which you should go and watch, because this is something which you need to keep in your mind when you are thinking about how to choose a specialization from MBA, which job role to choose. Jobs in marketing or finance or tech, jobs after MBA. Once you have to finalize this choice, these are the 4 things which are important for you to make that choice. Now, let me give you 2 examples, 2 situations of how one could make a choice. ठीक है, ये जरूरी इसलिए है बिकॉज इससे आपको समझ ये चीज आएगी कि ये जो मैंने ABCD आपको एक्सप्लेन करा था उसका इस्तेमाल क्या है, उसको आप कैसे यूज कर सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अंडरस्टैंड लाइक दिस. इन योर सेल्फ असेसमेंट यू रियलाइज दैट ओके, करंटली आई एम अ नॉन टेक UG. I have not done engineering or this thing, and I also have certain work experience. ठीक है. And suppose you say that okay, you know what, my aspiration is to become a technical prod man. Then you would find out from your entire analysis, जो मैंने आपको already explain कर दिया है, that for you to go from here to here, the upskilling required is that you need to get deeper into technology, the tools, and also in coding. For example, R, Python, SAS, Tableau, SQL, and all of those things. Now, because this may not align, this may not be a wise faisla for you to make on the front. Yes, if you're somebody who's really strong about this, that no, you know what, I will do this, I will make sure that I will do it. If you're so strongly inclined about it, then please go for it. Again, I am not prescribing things over here. I am not saying that technical product managers should only be engineers, but I am saying it might make more sense, it might be easier for you to earn the same amount of salary with something else which you could do it much more simpler. That's that. And probably the organizations which are recruiting for something like this may want to have engineers. So why do you want to complicate it for yourself? That one, you will have to study all of this thing like crazy, and second, you have to go ahead and explain that you know what, you can do this. Probably, now here is another example. Probably you are a CA or a BCom and your aspiration is investment banking or consulting. You know that with this, the expectations from you is to be good with finance, financial analysis, and all of those things. Yeah, obviously. This makes more sense because this is a very good utilization of your background. You will be able to draw things from there and really be of good use to the final organization you are being placed at. Again, one caveat, do not limit yourself. I am not saying that only engineers should do this thing or only CAs should get into this. No. It's not like that. Do not limit yourself. This is only an advice. Usually if you would speak to me one-on-one, these are the kind of things which I would say to you, and that helps you. Now, because I don't know who you are, it could be that you may be somebody who's really sure about something, and I do not want to really say to you कि नहीं यही करना चाहिए या फिर ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. But this makes more sense. It will be easier for you and all of those things. Moving on from there, what I have done in this slide is that I have compiled a few scenarios for you, that who you are, where you aspire to be, and probably what are some of the skills and certifications which you should aspire for if you want to aspire for this. For this, I would simply advise you take screenshots of this. I would not go ahead and explain these things. You will actually understand it. जो भी आपके लिए सही है, take a screenshot, research more on it, or just go down in the comments and inform me. I would make a separate video on whichever skills and certifications you want me to. I'll do it on the CL YouTube channel. For example, if your current qualification is accountancy or economics and you want to be in finance, which makes sense, probably some certifications which you could look for is CFA, FRM, CTP, all of these kinds. Take a screenshot of this. Similarly, if you're somebody from here and you are aspiring for similar sort of certifications, these would give you an added edge. What's happening in B schools now is that यहाँ पे एक बहुत important चीज़ है, because somebody may ask me that अरे मैं तो CA हूँ, मैं तो already इस field का हूँ या की हूँ, तो मुझे ये सब करने की क्या आवश्यकता है? नहीं है आवश्यकता, बट है भी वो इसलिए है बिकॉज हो ये रहा है कि अब जैसे स्टूडेंट्स आर बिकमिंग मोर अवेयर अबाउट व्हाट एग्जैक्टली दे एस्पायर टू डू राइट फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट ईयर, दे स्टार्ट टू अपस्किल, एंड नाउ these skill sets which you have, they become more like a commodity. Hence, the more students who are aspiring for these kind of certifications, it has started to make even these certifications as very hygiene. There will be a day where even these certifications will be hygiene. You know, it won't happen right now. It will happen in the next 10 years, I think, but these are important. That's that. From there, again, if you are an engineer, want to be in these fields which make most sense for you, obviously, some of the certifications which you could do are these, especially for operations. Oh, if you're wanting to get into operations, forget even कि यार मेरे friend ने क्या करा, उसने क्या करा. For you to really understand operations and be effective in your job, Six Sigma, supply chain certifications and product management certifications are something which you could definitely go for. These would only enhance your value, your skill set. इनसे हर्जा कुछ नहीं होगा आपको. कभी भी कोई सर्टिफिकेशन से ना, जो अगर आपने ऑलरेडी सही वे से अगर आपने करी हुई, ओके, once you have identified that okay, this is what I aim for, and if you do any certification in that field, it will never be a waste for you. You will learn something only. That's that. Then from there, if you are an MBBS, here I have tried to give all sorts of these things. You're probably where you should aspire for is this and some of the certifications for this. Obviously, if you're aspiring for this, marketing, basics of digital, which is ads, Facebook ads, Google ads, and also organic marketing, which is SEO. You should know these things. You should know the basics of this so that you get the verbiage which is extremely important. That is crucial. That is why in all of my videos, I give you a lot of important phrase, because if you use these phrases, it signals that you know things, and you should know things as well. And some more. So say for example, if you have arts, humanities, psychology, sociology sort of a thing, probably HR could be an option. Marketing and all, it could also be another option. And here is some of the certifications, here are some of the certifications which you could go for. My dear friends, my point behind this video was to give you those 4 factors, those 4 steps with which you will find it, give you some examples that okay, how do you choose a specialization from your IIM, from your MBA. It is extremely important that you make good use of this and do this proper exercise as soon as you watch this. I'll see you in another video. Thanks a lot and goodbye.